Hey everyone, welcome back to another Diablo 3 video. In this video, I'm going to go over the PoJ Tempest Rush Monk build. So this build, it utilizes the 6-piece Patterns of Justice set as well as the 3-piece Captain Crimson set. So you will be using the headpiece, chest, pants, shoulders, and gloves for the Patterns of Justice. And then the belt and boots for the Captain Crimson set. Necklace will be the Squirt's necklace. Bracers will be Caesar's memento. The rings I have equipped is restraint and focus, but people can run convention of elements and stone of Jordan. I personally not running it just because I'm lazy and I don't feel like finding a stone of Jordan that I can use. I do have a convention of elements, but I'm just gonna leave this as is. You could always use Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac as well for more cooldown reduction. So the rings are pretty interchangeable. Just use what works for you and what you prefer. And then for weapon, I'm going to use Ingeom with Wan Kim Lao. For this, the Ingeom provides more of the cooldown reduction. If you're not worried about cooldown reduction, you could always swap this out for Echoing Fury for more movement speed and attack speed. This also comes down to preference. And then for what I have in my gear, the gems, I'm running diamonds for the cooldown reduction in the helmet. And then the gear piece, I'm using the all resist. If you want to put something else, by all means, it's your game, do what you like. And then for legendary gems, I'm using swiftness for the attack speed, the dodge, and then the cooldown reduction. And then Boon of the Hoarder for that increased movement speed when you pick up gold. Since this is rank 50, which is the max for this gem, it's 100% chance when you kill enemies. So this is good for your movement speed, and if you're low on gold, this will kind of help accumulate it. Me in my situation, I don't care about the gold, I just care about the movement speed. And then Bane of the Trap, this is what's going to give you a big damage boost. So that's also what I'm running. And then for the weapons, I have the emeralds for the extra crit damage. The items in the cube will be balanced. This is going to increase the Tempest Rush damage. Gold Wrap, this gives you more armor when you pick up gold, so this synergizes with the Boon of the Hoarder. For the most part, any Torment 16 Rift farming build is going to have this synergize with one another. And then Ring of Royal Grandeur, that's what's allowing me to get the 6-piece bonus while only having 5 of the items equipped. And then same thing for the Captain Crimson, I'm getting the 3-piece bonus while only having 2 of the set pieces equipped. Now for the skills, I'm going to be running Tempest Rush Electric Field, Cyclone Strike Wall of Wind, Sweeping Wind Inner Storm, Mantra of Conviction Annihilation, Dashing Strike with a Falling Star, Epiphany Desert Shroud. And then for passives, I'm using Siege the Initiative, Relentless Assault, Beacon of Utar, and Momentum. Now with this one, you could swap out the Momentum. Like a lot of people like to run Guardian's Path. It does give you the more dodge chance and the spirit regeneration. Or you could always use near-death experience, especially if you're hardcore and you're kind of worrying about dying if you're not at a higher paragon or whatever. This is pretty interchangeable. Go with what works for you. If you want more damage reduction, you could always do the Resolve 2. But this is what I'm personally running. So yeah, if all you care about is the build information, feel free to skip ahead. I'm just going to do a quick T16 Rift, and then I'll go over the GR100 build. And then, sorry, I forgot to mention, as far as rolls, I have lightning damage, crit, and then cooldown. That's pretty much what you run.
That ability is not yet recharged.
Yeah, you just roll through and everything just dies.
The storm breaks.
It's a fun build.
I will not do that.
There we go. Alright, so now for the Greater Rift farming build, it's pretty much the same thing, only a few things change. So it's going to be the same gear pieces, except for your weapon, you will be using Echoing Fury instead of Engium, because of that additional damage that you can do. Again, if you're like a way high Paragon and you're not worried about needing the Frenzy from this, you could still do Engium instead. That's all your preference, do what you prefer. And then the legendary gems is going to be Taeguk and Gizzard, and then the trap stays the same. So you're gonna switch out the swiftness and the hoarder for these other two gems. And then for the bracers, and we're going to be switching from lightning damage to cold damage. So I made sure I had an extra bracer. So now I'm going to be using cold damage instead. And then other than that, the only thing that changes in your cube, you'll be using Mantle of Channeling instead of Gold Wrap because you will not be picking up gold in the Greater Rift. So this allows you to have increased damage while you're channeling your Tempest Rush. And then you also take less damage. So it's kind of helping you with that damage boost and damage reduction. And then yeah, other than those changes, everything else is the same. I'm still running Focus Restraint. Obviously, you do not need to be using Focus Restraint. Like I only get the benefit from one of these from using my secondary skill, so it could be a lot better just by using Convention of Elements with either Stone of Jordan or Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac. That's again up to your preference. But this build is strong, so like I don't really care what I have in the rings, to be honest. Now for skills, the only thing that really changes is the Tempest Rush. We're going to be switching it to Flurry, which is the cold rune. And then instead of using Matter of Conviction, I'm using Serenity Ascension for that immunity, and Ascension increases the duration that you're immune. Other than that, everything is still the same. And the passive skills, you can leave them the same too. You might want to switch, the fourth one like I mentioned earlier, maybe Near Death Experience if you're having trouble surviving GR 100. I'm just going to leave it alone, keep it as is, and see what happens. But yeah, you could, like I said before, you could even go Guardian's Path, go Resolve, Near Death Experience, just do what you prefer. To the 100. I'm going the wrong way. Nope, I was going the right way the first time.
It cannot be done.
Wondering I didn't do any damage. My Swooping Wind dropped. Okay, every time I try to show these builds, like, I get terrible riffs.
I will not do that. What you ask is impossible. cannot be done.
Oh, right at 3 minutes. So there you go. T16 and GR 100 farming for the Patterns of Justice Tempest Rush Monk. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.